edition of Lumberjack Logic Live. I'm your host, Neil Johnson. So excited to be with you and to share this news with you folks. We have, this is so amazing, a Russian-speaking, Trump-hating, Russia collusion promoting, Hunter Biden laptop disinformation promoting FBI agent who was stealing classified documents has been apprehended while leaving our country. This is going to be a glorious report. I've got a couple other really great stories in this report for you as well, folks. One about the famed Anheuser-Busch Bud Light saga. It's still going on. And then some numbers that'll blow your mind on the Democrat Party. And then also, we're going to talk briefly about a wave of violence that Democrats have refused to speak out against, not only against Elon Musk, but some other people as well. We're going to get into all those great things here. And I got an email this morning from YouTube. And they remonetized the channel. Everybody's always asking, Neil, where are the super chats? Where is this, that? I'm telling you, I don't know. We'll see how long it lasts. Anyways, but I do have to mention my sponsor. You don't go out and buy a life jacket, folks, while the boat is already sinking. You don't buy gold when the economy has already collapsed. You guys know I love gold and silver. Here, look at this. Here's some, these are 1.5 ounce silver coins, 1 ounce silver coins. I happen to believe in this stuff, okay? The company I trust to help you diversify into physical gold is Birch Gold. Birch Gold specializes in helping you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold for no money out of pocket, okay? Get your free info kit on gold by texting the word lumberjack to number 989-898. Again, that's lumberjack to 989-898. There is no obligation, folks, just useful information. It's got an A+ rating from the Better Biz. They've been around forever. You guys know Birch Gold. So anyways, folks, go get yourself some gold or silver. You can also go to birchgold.com/lumberjack. All right, into the news. Folks, I'm so excited about this one. This one came out of the Gateway Pundit. Anti-Trump FBI agent arrested for disclosing classified information. The feds nabbed him as he was about to board an international flight. Do me a favor, smash that like. Do chat in with where you're from to help get this stream out there. So this is wild because, again, we've got all these Trump-hating FBI agents, and I'm just trying to pull something else up on this, but they are now they're facing the wrath. All right, here we go. Got it. Jonathan Buma is his name. It's B-U-M-A. Well, maybe you could just call him Bum. But I think it's Buma. Anyways, Buma allegedly disclosed internal classified documents and text messages to associates. Court documents revealed that Jonathan Buma had printed 130 files from the FBI's internal network, with many of the documents marked with warnings that the information was confidential. Buma shared a draft of a book he was writing about his career in the FBI with colleagues, and it contained sensitive information, the charging documents said. According to ABC News, the feds nabbed Jonathan Buma just as he was about to hop on an international flight on Monday. The FBI agent accused the Bureau of political bias during President Donald Trump's first administration was arrested Monday in New York on charges related to the alleged unauthorized disclosure of confidential information, according to court documents filed Tuesday. He's a 15-year veteran of the Bureau. He allegedly shared text messages, internal documents, and other classified information with associates. Last year, Jonathan Buma told Business Insider that political bias under Trump's first administration pushed him to become a whistleblower. Buma, a 15-year veteran of the FBI who speaks Russian. This is so funny. He speaks Russian. Okay, just wait. He speaks Russian, and yet he denied the Hunter Biden laptop. Okay? Anyways, where am I back here? It drives me nuts. Said the FBI ignored his so-called leads linking Trump's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, to Russian intelligence. So this guy was a promoter of the Russia collusion hoax, and he speaks Russian, and he's now been nabbed as he was trying to flee the country. Rudy Giuliani may have been compromised by individuals suspected of being involved in Russian counterintelligence influence operations, Jonathan Buma told Business Insider in an interview. I saw important intelligence information being suppressed. Yeah, so did we, like the intelligence information of the Hunter Biden laptop. We saw that definitely being suppressed. He also said the Hunter Biden Burisma story on the laptop from hell were part of the disinformation campaign. Buma was eventually prohibited from investigating anyone connected to President Trump. Okay, on to the next story now. So I love this one because, folks, you know I was all in on this when Bud Light went woke as a joke. Okay, and this is one of those things where if you have a company, you have to understand your market. And they obviously did not understand or care about their market. But Budweiser parent company, Anheuser-Busch, has just canceled the San Francisco Pride sponsorship. Give a hand clap in the chat, folks. I mean, look, it was easy for me to boycott Bud Light because I don't drink. So I just, whatever, my dad was an alcoholic and he got sober and we had wonderful years at the end of his life. I enjoyed him so much, but we had some tough times growing up. So I just don't drink. I just don't have an interest in it. But Anheuser-Busch, the brewing company known for brands like Bud Light and Budweiser's, has ended its sponsorship of San Francisco Pride. The beer giant, get this, folks, lost over $27 billion in market value in 2023 after partnering with transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney and becoming the target of conservative boycott. Other companies, including, get this is where it gets really good, Comcast, Smirnoff-produced Diageo, and a wine company, La Crema, have also withdrawn their sponsorships, resulting in a reported loss of approximately $300,000 in funding, folks. This is big. Anheuser-Busch cited financial constraints as the reason for pulling its support, a reason echoed by other withdrawing sponsors. San Francisco Pride's executive director, Susan Ford, told San Francisco Gate that the withdrawals are very abnormal. I'm going to tell you what's abnormal, folks. I just interpreted that companies are making decision that at this time it's not good to be sponsoring Pride, Ford told San Francisco Gate. I think this is political environment that they thought was a risky decision, but that's just me reading the tea leaves. I think for a long-term sponsor not to sponsor us, they are responding to what we are. Actually, they are responding to the market conditions, okay, that said, if you go woke, you go broke. Again, bunch more new people on. Thank you for joining the stream. If you're new, subscribe. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button. We'll hit over 2,000 people here, and drop a comment with where you're from. Love having new people on the stream. Ford announced earlier this month that SF Pride was ending its relationship with Meta because it did not align with the event's values. The Facebook parent company recently ended diversity hiring and relaxed its content moderation. By the way, I'm really curious out there. I mean, I know a lot of my audience would be on Facebook. I mean, I have a Facebook account. I don't use it much, but have you guys seen, have they been loosening the content moderation over on Facebook? Because I guess I heard from some friends that they were still canceling posts and pulling down the reach. What have you guys seen? Have you guys seen that with Facebook? I'm really curious. Okay, so Catherine says it's still insane. Steven says no, I still get fact checked, Jessica. I don't know. That's kind of what I've heard. I've heard that Facebook hasn't really done what they said they were going to do. And Mark Zuckerberg is going through a fake conversion. They say still cancel. I canceled Facebook in 2014. Good idea, Ben. I still have it. I can look up my relatives on there if I need to get in touch with them, or I'm talking like relatives I don't necessarily talk to, and I've got like a family reunion page on there and stuff like that. Hardly use it though. I don't want to, I never click on one of their ads because I just can't with them. They're just the worst. Anyways, but that's a big deal. Now, listen to this. Democrats are facing the worst ratings in decades. I've talked a little bit about this before, but listen to just how bad the numbers are, folks. In my polls and others, this is from Sean Penn, or Mark Penn, excuse me. I got confused with the actor Sean Penn. Anyways, facing the worst polls in decades, dropping to as low as 29% favorability in the CNN poll. But here's the thing. You guys have heard the number. It's dropped down to 29%. Do you guys realize that that is a 29% drop? Do you know what the Democrats' approval rating is? Or was, excuse me, in 2008? I see some guesses here. Light it up in the chat. What do you think the Democrats' approval rating was in 2008? Okay? It's now down in the 20s. What do you think it was in 2008? I'm going to give you the number here. But this is cataclysmic for the Democrat Party. 80, 57. Lisa, you're pretty close. You got to go a little higher. It wasn't 80. It wasn't that high. Somebody said 68%, a little lower. Actually, the number was 62%. Robin, you're very close. So 62%. They have gone from 62% favorability in 2008 down to 29% favorability now. The reasons are pretty clear. After the 2024 election, voters reevaluated the job that President Joe Biden did and began scratching their heads at the actions and positions of Democrats in Congress. Unless there's a major reset, I expect that they will have an unexpected wipeout in next year's midterm elections. Back in the late 90s, Democrats stood for a balanced budget, expanded health care benefits, tough immigration policies, and smaller government. Bill Clinton declared the era of big government is over. Boy, was he wrong. Step by step, Democrats drifted from these policies that produced near 75% approval ratings for Clinton. Tax and spend came back in the Obama years as tax rates went up and Obamacare kicked in, and he moved decisively to the left in the last 2 years of his presidency. So the thing that we saw with the left consistently was that they would come out with more mainstream popular positions, and then they just did that and then moved to the left. They basically hoodwinked the voters and then would shove their policies down their throats. Oh, look at that, 923 likes. Smash the like quick. Let's get to over 1,000. We're 931. It's climbing. Anyways, that's going on right now in the Democrat Party. By the way, I just saw a poll. Let me see if I can pull this up quick. Yeah, check this out. This is crazy. NBC poll, opinion of Trump. I'm going to go inside the numbers here. So there's an opinion poll that NBC News conducted of Trump, and they're probably low, okay? But listen to this. White men with no college degree, plus 41 approval of Trump. White men with a college degree, plus 1 Trump. White women, no college degree, plus 14 Trump. White women with a college degree. Guess what Trump's approval opinion of Trump is there? Negative 38%. I have a friend, he's a cop. He was in Minneapolis, a good friend. And when the riots were going on down in the Floyd riots, he would tell you absolutely 100% white college-age chicks were the worst to deal with. Okay? What is going on? Does anybody have any idea what is going on with white women with college degrees? I mean, I get the fact that they're being brainwashed in college, but this is unbelievable, actually. Negative 38? Negative 38. Yet he's positive everywhere else. And don't buy these other polls. Rasmussen runs a rolling poll. A number of polls have Trump at the highest approval rating he's ever been. Okay? So it's wild to watch this, even with all these judges and their erroneous decisions that they're making right now. Whoa. This just came up on the news. Ukraine bombs Russian airfield 435 miles from the front lines where Russia houses nuclear bombers in largest drone attack ever. Wow. Ukraine's trying to heat things up over there. Boy, I tell you, there's nothing that this global deep state apparatus likes more than war. It's wild. It's wild. I got to do a video on Tim Walz, my governor. It's so bad. It's so bad. The guy's so bad. Okay, get to this last story here really quick. Democrats' silence is damning as leftist violence explodes, from Carol Markowitz in the New York Post. I want to talk about this a little bit. Another Donald Trump presidential term, another spate of violence going largely ignored or even smirked at by Democrats and their media friends. Tesla dealerships are being firebombed and shot at, while Tesla vehicles are vandalized and their owners assaulted. Trump-supporting influences are getting swatted, set up for dangerous police encounters by opponents who phone in hoax distress calls. People, I want to know, how is it that the law enforcement sends out the entire SWAT team kicking down doors and everything? Well, typically the people open the doors, but bottom line, they're prepared to kick down doors. Guns pointed, weapons hot, because somebody calls in and says something's going on at that house. Now, I understand that the law enforcement agency doesn't know, but can't they trace these calls? Can't they figure out where this cell phone call is coming from? I mean, honestly, what is this? So, I mean, I understand, the element of surprise and not wanting to give the criminal a chance to get away. But we're in the age of technology where they can identify every person who happened to be within a mile of the Capitol on January 6th, and they can't figure out. I'm going to ask my cop friend about this. He's on the SWAT team. But how is it that they don't? So this is, I've seen the pictures, the videos, everything. I mean, they're guns pointed at their heads, all of this, SWAT raids going on. And, relatives of Trump-aligned public figures, including the sister of U.S. Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett and Elon Musk's brother, are receiving bomb threats. Shoot, they shouldn't care about Amy Coney Barrett. I mean, she typically rules with them. She's basically become a leftist except on abortion. This cannot go on. The multiple attacks on Teslas aren't mere vandalism. This is terrorism, exactly as the dictionary describes it: the unlawful use of violence and intimidation, especially against civilians, in the pursuit of political aims. That's what terrorist is defined as. So they are actually conducting terrorism inside. This is the real domestic terrorism, folks. It's intimidation. It's actually, I've got a friend, her handle on X is Ash in America. But Ash said, she replied to Elon Musk in a post and said, this is voter intimidation. It's against the Voting Rights Act. So they should be prosecuted under that. So the Justice Department has already charged several perpetrators, she said, in cases that could carry 5-year mandatory minimum sentences. 5 years is a good start, but it's not enough. This kind of antisocial political barbarity is utterly unacceptable in a free country. Threats of violence cannot be allowed to curtail our freedom of speech, nor should the extended families of public figures face threats to their lives and safety. The siblings of a Supreme Court justice or the head of Doge did not choose a public life, and bullying them is disgusting. Swatting, too, is on the rise, with more than a dozen incidents aimed at right-leaning media figures reported in just the last 10 days. This isn't about politics, Kash Patel said on Friday on X. Weaponizing law enforcement against any American is not only morally reprehensible, but also endangered lives, including those of our officers. Swatting isn't just a scary inconvenience, it has deadly consequences. Police killed a Kansas man in 2017 after someone called in a fake hostage situation at his address. The swatter was sentenced to 20 years in prison. But every swatting has the potential to turn deadly. In fact, that's largely the point. Just because swatters use technology and law enforcement's guns shouldn't give them a pass on the attempted murder of their political foes. Meanwhile, there is no federal anti-swatting law, making it harder to prosecute. Republicans in Congress must take action. They can reintroduce the Anti-Swatting Act, a 2015 bill that was sponsored by both Democrats and Republicans but never got a floor vote. So you can call your congressmen and senators and say, we want the Anti-Swatting Act reintroduced for a vote on the House floor. Can Democrats really support using our law enforcement to target political enemies? Just remember, these are the very same people who want to defund the police, but then they're calling them to get SWAT raids done on people who haven't done anything wrong. Worst of all, and I've watched the videos, folks, worst of all, much of this violence and abuse is being laughed off by all the people who would be the weeping if the targets were their own political allies. Jimmy Kimmel. Okay? ostensibly a late-night comedian, but in truth more like an angry crank, sarcastically told his audience Tuesday, "Please don't ever vandalize Tesla vehicles," while looking mockingly into the camera after a long pause to let them know he meant the opposite. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, last seen as the great white male hope of the failed Kamala presidential campaign, told the crowd this week he keeps a finance app on his phone to follow Tesla and to give him a little boost whenever the stock declines. 225 and dropping, he exulted. Such jeers, as well as the deafening silence from most other Democrats, are intolerable. If progressive influencers and leftist leaders were on the receiving end of such horrid tactics, every Republican in the country would be made to answer for it. This is not who we are, right-wing media would proclaim, and rightly so. But no such calls are coming from the Democrats and their media allies. Donald Trump ran on a platform of law and order. The increasingly rabid reaction to his presidency calls for a serious response. For the last 5 years, the violent left has run rampant with few consequences for the chaos it has sown. Republicans in Congress and the Trump Justice Department should show them that ends now. This is an important issue, folks. So again, you can call your congressman or senator and tell them to bring that anti-swatting bill back to the floor, okay? Because it's insane. It's insane. It's ridiculous. Anyways, deportations are going too slow. Trump's frustrated with that, I know, but you've got all these judges and yeah, I don't, honestly, folks, I mean, with Judge Roberts going off the other day, I don't know how much hope there is at the Supreme Court to do the right thing. And I'm wondering what's going to happen here because we literally have a judiciary that's running afoul. Okay. So anyways, keep fighting the good fight, folks. Okay. Smash a like on your way out. Leave a comment. Please go check out my sponsor, Birch Gold. I'm telling you, I am completely, my gold that I bought at $2,000 is already up to $3,000 an ounce. It's a 50% run. The silver that I was buying at $20 is now at 33 or somewhere in thereabouts. Gold closed at over $3,000 an ounce for the first time in our nation's history. So I'll be working on the channel, getting some of the other things resolved. But thanks so much for listening, folks. You're a great audience. You really are. You're the best. You stuck with me all this time. So keep fighting the good fight, and we'll see you on the next episode. All right? Peace out.